is for me. Probably one what I'm doing. Every day in the studio. Every day in the studio. Every day no fully shit. In the streets with the Yeezys on. In the streets with the hoodie up.
All right. Play. No. Games. Podcast/show. And we're back here again today. We're doing some, we're winding down the year. It's been a wild year. And I don't know how y'all have been doing, but if you've been following the Play No Games family, it's been a journey. And when I say it's been a journey, we've been through a lot. And when I say we've been through a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and just things in particular. So I think as we wait for more people to file in, I think it'd be kind of cool for y'all to just hear from me and just a little bit of, reaffirming what the show is about and what we're trying to do. And the Play No Games show is literally supposed to be a place and an environment where we can learn from each other, laugh, and really, be the best versions of ourselves and put ourselves at a higher vibration. And when I mean putting ourselves at a high vibration is, can you let loose and control what you can control? And what I'm meaning by that is by life, because career, relationships, um, society, your own wants and beliefs truly can have you wanting and doing, let's just say, unusual things. And we're really here to just show you guys and gals about I think we have some one moment. One moment, we'll be right back. And what do you call it? It is an opportunity for people just to just grow. No, you good, G? I'm going. There's some popcorn too over there. If you want some. It's on the big bag. Just walk through, you good. Uh so the crazy thing about this is like yo, he's about to get on the mic in a second, but he's like, why is this dude doing like doing this on his own? I was like, why the F not? So no, only thing I was just saying is like seriously, long story short, the show bit we wind down the year. So um oh, your mic not on.
This motherfucker right here.
What's poppin' slime?
Man, how you gonna start without me?
No, so I'll still keep this no matter what. We're gonna do like a two-parter.
That's fine with me.
A two-parter is like well, this one will like part one come out like after that, and then next week we have a guest, and then right around the top of the year because we gotta get the archives back because the archives are a little bare. It's kind of like
Uh, we'll talk.
the archives are definitely bare. But no, what do you call it? Only thing I was just talking about was just reflecting about, it's the end of the year
Oh man.
coming up, and like literally about like I was kind of just going over what people just think like what the show is, what this environment is about, and I was just kind of like just spitballing about the good, the bad, the forwardness, and then just like why we're doing and just why this is a needed space. But
You're not talking about how everybody wants to do a weight loss program at
oh,
the end of the year and only go 2 weeks into it or a month into it, and then they back to doing what they was doing the year before.
uh,
I mean, I'm just being honest. That usually happens, but we can talk about, the year.
no,
As a whole.
no, that's actually a great place for us to start. I'll be honest. There's the influx of people on the January 1st. What do we call them? The resolutioners.
Oh man, they're always available. I feel like you always have those people that say like, my goal is to lose this, my goal is to gain that, I'm trying to get rich, and it's like, but what were you doing the year before to not accomplish the goal now that you're trying to set for the following year? Like, it's like, you got to stick to your patterns and your tendencies, and if your tendencies are off, you're probably not gonna make your goals. What you trying?
I know you're not that heavy into social media, but let me just see. I just gotta see this. Do you remember that meme of that black woman and she has the stuff and she's walking up the stairs and she's like, "I'm leaving this behind in 2000." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that season.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Nah.
literally that season.
For real. And I think a lot of people get lost in that, right? Like, we have a tendency to be like, my year was shit, I'm about to bounce back. And it's like, but what'd you learn from your year to make you able to bounce back? Like, because
Ooh.
you got to be able to learn to be able to bounce back. If you don't learn, you're going to be carrying the same shit in the next year.
What you mean? I've been working on some stuff.
Like, of course, there's pieces of like everybody with that of course you're gonna grow. Like, you're gonna get older for one, get a little bit more wiser too. But like, if you had shit habits going into 2021 and you don't work on changing your shit habits, you're gonna have shit habits in 2022. Like, it's just point blank, period. And you can be mindful of your habits and trying to work on your habits, which is something that's definitely gonna take time. But if you are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna save money this year, but you out buying Gucci wallets and Fendi purses and Prada shoes, you're not really saving no money. Like, like your habits is fucked up for what you trying to get to. So
No, and I think I'll just kick it off to say is like I think for me that I don't mind sharing is I think for me this year I really like learned what forgiveness is because I think for like like two-ish 3ish years like I thought I knew what forgiveness looked like.
damn.
And my forgiveness looks like that what did Liam Neeson say? He's like when he picked up the phone, he's like, I don't know who this is, but you have my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much he said, we can do this the easy way, we can do this the hard way. and that nigga said, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And my forgiveness looks like me, because there's like two versions of like me being like, all right, I'm a stun on people. But also the other part of me is like, all right, I'm gonna try to do this authentically. And I think for me, I had to learn to quiet the taken version of like I'm doing this to like prove other people wrong. And I don't want to be one of those people to be like, oh, that doesn't exist. Like that does exist. But when you let that and you think you're doing things, authentically, and you're letting that shadow side of you really dominate, you're really not at peace. So I really came at peace with a lot of different things of like that friendship ended. That shit did hurt me. But like it is what it is. And I shouldn't say it is what it is. I accept that pain. I accept that hurt. But I'm not gonna let that dominate how I move forward with things where like I'm truly at peace. And what a lot of people don't understand is sometimes peace is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
As facing those different things. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm more at peace. And then I even have to throw in this. because my brain moves like a mile a minute. Uh, some people's like, "Oh, you have ADHD." Not at all. Like my baselines, I at least think about three different things at the same time. But one of the things that I've been doing a really better job at is like going into a conversation and the expectation is like I'm like 4 or 5 outcomes are gonna happen, and just being like releasing control and being like, I don't know what's gonna be said.
Mm.
So that's something I definitely have worked on this year heavily. Not just this year, but years, prior, because I am one of them January, resolutioners. So it's been a long time coming.
And it's crazy that you say that because I think you taught me that this year, which is crazy. To even like think about how you say you're still learning how to do that. You taught me the process of like forgiveness and like how I can define my own forgiveness, but then it's like how to forgive. Like I'll always like, there's like ways of doing it. And there's different phases of like forgiveness, but like true forgiveness, like true forgiveness, man, like that one really like is like wholeheartedly giving up, whatever the battle may be, whatever, however you may have felt, like that true forgiveness is the one that is the hardest one to do. And I think what I learned from this year is tenacity.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
fighting through ups and downs, downs in a low point, and then fighting through the highs at the highest points, and being able to stay like motivated and driven to keep moving.
Mm,
Um, that's it's not something that it's something that I've always had, but I never realized because I never had went through some of the things that I went through this year. So it was like being able to put some of those characteristics on display is I think a big thing that I really begin to learn is like, because there's definitely been like some ups and downs for me, friendships and relationships and all the above, but it's like being able to still stand on my 2 feet and be tenacious and keep moving and grinding and pick myself up from the mud and clean myself off, and keep working. So
yeah, I'm so glad that I haven't heard that word. It says tenacity. I haven't heard that in a very long time. And I'm not gonna lie, I got goosebumps when you said that. I was like, dang, I haven't like because I think for me, how I took that is like I think being tenacious is such a pure thing, and it
mm,
comes from like one of those purest places. I'm quoting a Big Sean like patience video, comes from like one of the higher places because like when you're tenacious, I feel like you have that 360, like you know, and not just like a know it all, but like what it takes. You know, it's gonna be some hurt. You know, it's gonna be some triumph. You're prepared.
yeah. Yeah, you never realize how prepared you are until you go through it. And then that, like I was saying, like that bounce back piece, right? Like you got to be tenacious in order to bounce back, and you got to have the sense of like, how can I see my goal and grab my goal,
Yeah.
right? And just like trials and tribulations, the only way you can. For me, like that's how I learn. Sometimes it makes me a hard head, but like they say, a hard head is a soft ass. Like so, it's like it's one of those things like we really gotta like you gotta find your characteristics on how you really take yourself, and that was definitely one of mine this year.
So, because at the end of the year, we play no games.
Shit, here we go.
Yeah, yeah. And uh as you guys I already know, we're, growing and expanding. As you guys already know, we if you haven't known, Arthur is part of the team, and there's multiple reasons why Arthur's a part of the team, and we gotta give it up to our brother company or our brother pod, and that's on What's the Menu, and that's gonna be back. And
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
just gotta ask you because people don't know what it really takes to do this podcast, and we kind of talked about that with Aaron.
Yeah.
them on,
Mm-hmm.
and like even though you're not a guest and things like that, but like I've been behind the scenes trying to help you as best way I can. You me being your glove for whatever things like that. But I really think I would love to hear your perspective if you don't mind me asking about like you just literally filmed the very first one, even though it's 2021. I don't know when you gonna drop it, but like you back, man. How's it feel?
Uh, oh man. How do I put it into words? It was so like different, and it's crazy because I was talking to my sound guy about it, who was with me in season one, and he was like, it just feels better, like,
Mm.
and I was like, damn, like it felt good to me, and he was like, the other one felt like an interrogation. He's like, he said this one feels like a conversation, and I said, damn, like, and for me it was like that for me was like a green light
Mm-hmm.
to really like say like I'm doing it the right way, you know, through the trials and the tribulations of what I went through in season one. He was like that. The first season felt like a interrogation. This one felt like a conversation. And he's like, and it felt good. And I was like, so it kind of like perked me up a little bit and gave me more like a little bit more drive because I knew I wasn't the only one who felt it. Like for me, it felt good. So, and it's one of those things. And the podcast is called Brace Yourself. Working on editing the sound just a little bit more to drop it. It's all audio for season 2 right now. We are looking at possibly some videos towards the end of the season, but for right now, it's all audio. We're doing all local folks of color, majority folks of color, vegan places. We have a nutritionist on there. We have a trying to get this vegan doctor,
Mm.
um, who's
Mm.
also Latino. Uh, we have El Salvadorian food, pastries, ice cream, South American Chilean food, Sri Lankan food. Uh, so we have like a whole different perspective and different types of food, and all of them can be found here in Portland, Oregon. So it's like being able to tap into the variety um, of what the show brings and tap into the people because I ultimately food and culture coexist. So even having a conversation with food and culture, that conversation is just a conversation because ultimately the culture makes the food and the food makes the culture. Um, so yeah, again, that's Brace Yourself Oregon. You can follow us on Instagram. There's not a lot of there's no season 2 posts really up yet on Instagram, but there's definitely season 1 posts of like what's on the menu, which will start back up here pretty soon as well. So in that those would be strictly probably Instagram, but you can tap into the podcast piece on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms. So and stay tuned because it's coming. The first episode drops pretty soon.
All right, so when am I gonna be on there?
Um, actually, I wouldn't mind having you as even like a special guest for the interview, just to even learn about the idea of the
Okay.
vegan life. I know you're not a vegan, so it's like I want to give people perspective on like what it is to be vegan because I think people have it kind of like you eat grass and that's it, and it's actually more than that. I feel like there's definitely a spectrum on veganism. You have
Mm.
the extreme of like the radical where you're talking about I do this because of fish are dying in the ocean. There's a lot of politics attached to it, which there's a politics attached to everything, even the meats you eat. There's politics attached to it, and people don't take that in perspective either. So like, um, so there's that, and then it's just I need a lifestyle change. I need something to just change my lifestyle and the way I eat, and so it's like you have all spectrum of veganism. So
Well, I can't wait to to get the invite. And once again, I just got to say that at your core and foundation, what you're talking about the pod
Mhm.
for brace yourself, right? It like for me, one of the reasons why it goes is because that balanced personality you have. I know you were talking with Aaron about like people can sit and talk with you. That's one of the things that you have, and like it's a talent, my guy. Like it's a major talent. Like people can sit and talk with you, and that's what makes things go. And as I just want to just say this, as 2020 arrives and everything in between, can't wait for the numbers, can't wait for the experiences, can't wait for the opportunities, and more or less, I know this isn't a trying to be cool type of a thing. And you talked about being tenacious. I know what you're trying to do is bigger than what's going to happen in the next 3-4 years for you, where podcast is going to be a cultural thing where people stop through and be like, I got to, you know, because this is going to happen for you. You're going to do a live show
Yeah, and so I
for the
want to.
audience.
I also want to shout out Travel Portland because I spoke to Travel Portland last year, and they um, we're working on connecting on making the podcast a place for people who come to Portland that are vegan be able to try out some of these different places. So I should definitely shout out Travel Portland. You guys are definitely someone that I will keep shouting out, man. You guys have been a blessing to me, and you guys are definitely motivating me to continue to push too. So thank you.
So I'm going to put you on the spot again. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We gonna do
Go
it.
ahead.
No, because it's not about the numbers, but it's not about those things. But
Go ahead.
what do you want the goals for the show to be at the end once we rewind or not
Yeah.
rewind, fast forward next December when we have this conversation? What are your goals for yourself and your business going forward?
So I want Brace Yourself to be attached to any type of local food industry. So if someone is like, I'm looking to try a local vegan this, and they can turn on the podcast, they can email me and say, what are some of the good vegan spots in Portland? And I'll say that this place makes this type of food, this place makes that type of food. Make sure you check out this. Make sure you check out that. So it's more of an informal spot, like an informational piece, not only to promote the vegan culture in Portland, but also to promote the people. Like at the end of the day, I want to promote the people that are putting in the work, allow them to get promoted and show their work, like show their work and what they're doing, because ultimately a lot of them are putting in backbone hours. A lot of them are putting in some of the most creative ways to make good food. And it's like, even from my first guest, Madre Teresa, like she did papusas. And if you know anything about papusas, they take work, man. Like they take work. And it's not just some simple flatbread piece of whatever. It's, it's corn, corn tortilla stuffed with all different types of things you can put in it. And it's like, it has to be made a certain way or it's not going to stick. And so it's like being able to understand the art and the science with that, but then also her culture and how she was raised, and it makes you appreciate the person more and makes you accept the food a lot more. I mean, plant-based Poppy is known by everybody. I had plant-based Poppy in season 1, and just to hear him talk about how he takes pride in his food and takes pride in it like it's his baby, and to see that bear fruit in the people that appreciate his food and the people that like his food and people that know his food. I mean, I speak to people almost every day that know plant. You vegan? You do know who plant-based Poppy is? Yeah, I know who that man is. Yes, I know him personally too. Yes,
Got him on a celly.
like literally, I could call
Yay!
him right now, and if he wasn't working, he'd probably answer because he's always
I like
working.
that. If he wasn't working,
He's always working, but it shows. Like his work ethic shows, his passion shows. And there's all types of people on there that are just like him. So
Well, the reason why I kind of want to bring this up is, on the Plano Game Show and things like that. If you already haven't noticed, Arthur's been here for multiple episodes. It's not a residency. He's here. He's a part of the team and the show. And um, I think to wind down the year, that's one of the things I kind of wanted to highlight. Where I know me and him talked off screen, but I at least just want to have this on record, just saying that I want him to grow. I want him to, and myself and the Play No Games show, mantra, look here, matchmaking, all the stuff that I do, Rob the therapist, support him and him doing that. And it's going to happen. And I just at least just wanted to just give you your space for you to be who you are. And yeah, man, whatever way where it's going to work. So I just want to say congratulations to the things you already have done, the things you are working on right now, and things to come. And I'm hopefully you're being patient with your process, because what people can see, not just myself, you're doing a damn good job.
Man, man. I don't know. I don't accept compliments very well, but thank you. I don't. It's always been a thing for me. I don't know if it's like I can call myself humbled or whatever. Like I'm just a person that's about the work, and and you know, today was a reflection of like, you know, my heart was torn today. I have to own up and say it. Like I coach girls basketball, and we played tonight, and we played Jeff tonight, and
We did it. Good job, probably.
it's going on right now actually as we speak.
No, wow.
And so it's my heart is torn because of, I want to be there to support those girls in that process, but at the end of the day, time is precious, and I've spent a lot of time coaching sports to get where I am now, and I don't take nothing away from it. I've actually used it as a way to propel myself a little bit more forward, but I have to give energy into other places that's going to help me propel myself a little bit faster forward. And I think that is part of like my heart being torn right now. Like I'm in a space where it's like I love the game. I want to coach it forever. I want to be around it forever, which I plan on it. But then it's like that wasn't helping create the success that I've been trying to chase. And so it's like, you know, I got to pay dues and pay respect, go Mountain Lions, what I'm saying? Hopefully we get this dub on Jeff, we coming.
What school you from, Jeff? What school you from? Jefferson. Now, who's your mascot? Democrats?
Yeah, anyway. No, just like that, but
no. It's hey, it's in the family, but I'm glad that you said that, paying your respects, having to choose, and because that's a big thing, because in life there's always like different forks in the road and things like that. And if you have that like burning sensation and passion for like coaching, you got put that energy and into that. Or if you have a burning passion to be a mechanic, you have to put that energy into that. Because in this book, I'm pretty sure everyone read it. It takes 1,000 hours to be a pro or something.
Absolutely.
And how you split your time is how you're splitting that 1,000 hours. And I can tell and I can see that you're putting in those hours into the places that you want to be and go. And I'll just even say this, elephant in the room, Costa's not here with us. What do you call it?
You keep calling him an elephant. Stop calling him an elephant.
I'm not calling him an elephant. Stop. I'm not calling him an elephant. And Costa will explain this when he returns and things like that. But me and him kind of did the end of the year type of thing. Even though you're gonna get on me this again, we kind of did like a white elephant.
Econ costs a white elephant. Wow.
This is actually
Kosh.
really funny.
Kosh. I hope you hear this, Kosh.
And I just know if he was here today, he would kind of say the same sentiments to himself about, what he's working on, what he's trying to do. And he'll be back in January, folks, so there no whatever. So when some stuff pops off and Cost is still here, so I just want to make sure that's known because we don't play no games, and I had to, talk about the leopard in the room. We're missing some spots. So,
Wow. Are you saying that because he's
Stop.
white?
But what do you call it? We'll just say this. I'll just say it in on this. Cost will be here more so in January. He's taking care of some business, doing some mental health things, and he is a guy, believe it or not, he may not believe this, I will always love and be there for him. And my thing is, when we were just talking about Arthur, talking about passion and things like that, people, you got to do the things, you got to be and have space to like grow and space to become like full person, because that's literally, as I was monologuing at the beginning of it, like what the essence of the show is: taking yourself to a higher vibration.
Mm-hmm.
How can you do that in career, in self, and in relationships? That's literally what the show is about, that space, because there's not that space for that often to have real conversations about, man, today was fucked up, and how you going to get through that authentically. That's not with a bottle. It's not with, nothing against my druggies. Nothing wrong with that. But how do you like really manage and conquer? And I'll just say with this quote, I like this quote: the true testament of a person is when they are in fear. Like, oh, that butchered it. Oh my, no, true courage comes from those who move even in fear.
Mm.
And a lot of people, when they look at me, think I know everything. I know some shit though, but not all shit. But like a lot of times, like I'm afraid to do certain things. But true courage is taking that very first step from things that, and I feel like that's been my thing. So I can't speak for Cost, but that's where Cost is, just in case people be knowing or wanting to know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think I got him kicked off for Arthur, things like that. Even though they both good guys.
I also want to. I think it's my moment really to give a shout out to Robert, just for giving people the space and the opportunity to share a platform. Not only to share the platform that you built, but also like to bring people on here to share your platform, your space, and a line of work that you operate pretty well in. A lot of people don't understand the in depths of relationships like you've dealt with and been through, and it's bigger than just the idea or the concept of me and you, or you and a partner, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Like, it's relationships go across all bounds, right? And
Yeah.
you have a way of tapping into those relationships and bringing in good people, but also like of holding people accountable to their word. And I think that's important, especially for someone who takes pride in the work that they do, right? Like, I feel like you use that a lot in the work that you do, is hold people accountable, and you carry forth that outside your work into everybody around you, everybody that you work with, and everybody you encounter. Like, you hold them accountable to their word and what they do and your own word. And it shows because of what's going on, what you've proven to put out in front of people, what you've proven for this show. So thank you for that opportunity to really step foot and improve your own word and hold me accountable to mine.
I hopefully continue like when I was like, people don't like, I keep referencing this, like I literally like am doing a better job of just like focusing and being on the moment and things like that, because like I'm in the moment in my own mind and things like that, but like there's like that arrogance, it's taking a step further, being like, nah, like you could be more in the moment. And I just want to say I appreciate that. And because my mind, like I keep saying, runs a mile a minute, it's kind of like word is very important for me because it's a dying breed where like I
Absolutely.
literally was at Jackie's with this dude. We mean like, bro, I'm gonna help you, like no matter what, like, and no matter how much we don't talk about or not talk about, that's in the back of my mind where I'm like, this moment is he doesn't know anime, but it's fine. I love anime, and there's a show I love called One Piece. And when someone joins the crew, right, you exchange like alcohol or sake cups and things like that. It's still in Japanese culture, not
Yeah.
from anime, but they took it from,
Yeah.
and like we never had like that sake cup moment. And like I wanted, the end of the year to be that, we take the drink, we smash the glasses, and being like, this is, until we're at that next fork in the road and things like that. And that's why I kind of wanted to big up where you're going, my own observations, because at the end of the day, if you're part of a crew, everybody on that crew, and I'm referencing One Piece, has a dream, and everyone's trying to help everyone reach that dream. Whether it's Luffy being the pirate king, or if that's Sanji finding the all blue and becoming the best cook, or you mapping the whole sea or some bullshit like that.
You referenced this when we sat down too. You know that, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
Man, I'm a goat. Anywho,
You're right. But it's because you started talking about the Pirate King, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I remember you talking about this in the Jackies.
And that's literally what the Play No Games podcast is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be just Robert doing, like, don't get me wrong. Like, at the end of the day, I'm like, there's certain shit I want in the show or things like that. But at the end of the day, it's about us, and it's about the listeners following their dreams. Like, that's like anger is a secondary emotion. What a lot of people don't understand. I always ask people, what's under that anger?
Love, man.
Exactly. And what this show is supposed to do, the reason why we tell you to play no games is because after you stop fucking around with yourself and all that other stuff, there's that real intimacy, true intimacy of what you want to do with your life. We're not on this planet for that much long, and we trying to call you out on your bullshit. That's why Arthur brought up the accountability. I hope my brother is it's about being your brother's keeper. And not to make that gendered or anything, it's about being your keeper for your people. You can't control that person, but you at least gotta say something if you care about this person or if you want to see someone grow. So that's one of the things I care about. I care about you, the viewers. I got tired of not seeing quality stuff or quality people's things not being bigged up. I know a lot of people who ain't got stuff. Or I'll even mention Cost. Cost is a dude where I'm like, he needs a mic. He's saying dope things. And that's what this show's about. It's about finding those voices and propelling them, because I know if I gave you the key to the city, you're in good hands. And this ain't a State Farm commercial.
Man, they wouldn't allow me to have the key to the city. It'd be a wrap. It would be a wrap. It would be a problem. But a good problem, I think. Nah, man, and it's dope to be able to see art, see art for what it is, and like the show is definitely art. But it goes to testament, like some of the things that you were talking about, like personal relationships, right? Like you and your partner should want to see each other grow. It's crazy because I was having this conversation with a junior in high school girl today. We were having a conversation about her and her dude, and she wanted to break up with him because she felt like he was a bad influence on her for where she wanted to go. And I'm like, for you to understand and recognize that as a junior in high school, I said, he ain't ready for you.
Damn.
Like, he not ready for you. For you to understand and recognize that he's not helping you grow in any other way, and he's a bad influence. I said, there's so much opportunity for you just as a person. And she's a wrestler and super dope wrestler. So I'm like, you got college scholarships waiting for you right now. And I said, and you'd be able to excel with it. and just being able to have that conversation for her to wake up and realize like her dude wasn't treating her how she wanted to be treated. It was no longer available. And I think we talk about stuff like that on our show. Is like, again, accountable. How do we keep our partner accountable? How do we force our partner to uplift us and be there, support us for our own dreams, but then support them for theirs? Like we gotta we gotta find spaces and places to have those conversations because they're real conversations. Like relationships move with goals, and
Yeah.
it's not even like a relationship goal, but like individual goals. And if you're trying to help me excel to my individual goal, and I'm trying to help you excel to your individual goal, what does that mean? We're going to share a common goal.
Yeah.
And I think people forget that. Like, yeah, yes, it's a lot of togetherness, but at the end of the day, like it's still individualized because individually you're growing. You're growing, you're changing, you're manifesting into a new person. Like things about you are no longer the same. And I think we forget that like throughout relationships, like especially experiencing good and bad relationships, like you got to grow from both ends of the spectrum. And if your partner's trying to grow and you're trying to grow, things aren't going to look the same. But if the commonality is I'm trying to help you grow and your commonality is I'm trying to help you grow, we have a common goal and we got to do better together. So
No, I appreciate you saying that, and that's one of the things that I really want people to understand and know about relationships. In not just everyone thinks not just romantic, it's just in general. We're just kind of like how do you coexist with people, and that's one of the things. And where people hate on anime, that's why I feel like sometimes anime does a really good job talking about like just because I'm the main character or in my eyes doesn't mean I can't big up the team. Like we all have dreams, and that's why I
yeah,
reference that because everyone on that ship has a dream, and they're literally helping each other get there in so many different ways. But um, I this will potentially come out either during the week of Christmas or after. I'm not sure.
shoot,
I think this might. I think I might have this one be for right before New Year's, and then yeah, this was an interesting little com- little conversation, really
yeah,
interesting
definitely.
conversation. But the only exit I have because we're gonna switch over to do something else really quick. But no, I just want to say I want to do a big shout out to all the listeners who's listened this year, all the guests who've been on here. I'm not gonna name all the guests. Being costed that last year, we did a pretty good job, but like it's been a long year. We had a lot of guests on.
Man,
But I just want to say shout out to all the guests, shout out to all the listeners, and really appreciate all you guys. And next year we're gonna go hard and like we always do, we're gonna play no games because that's what
we always do.
exactly.
Uh, real quick before you wrap it out, big shout out for those that like, comment, subscribe. Man, big shout out, man. Y'all can comment, speak your piece, allow us to respond. Like you say what you want to say because we saying what we want to say on here too.
Don't DM me a question, but comment me the question.
Comment the question. You know what I'm saying? So allow that interaction to happen, man. We real people. We real people in Portland, Oregon. So if you recognize that, man, you can always pull up on one of us and have that conversation.
Well, I actually didn't say you should, donate to my Cash App. I didn't say that at all. But like, comment, subscribe to both our podcasts. Both what we're doing. All that stuff will be in the subscription at the bottom. And just remember, you want to be a part of the wave before everyone else. It's like, man, y'all watching them. And don't get me wrong, I was at True Peace, but I'm not gonna lie, I got a shit list. I got some niggas and I got some females. I'm like, what you say? Huh? Huh? You know me? Nah, I don't know her. Nah, I don't know him. But never mind. I'm kind of at peace, but it's more regulated at the time. But nah, share this stuff, share this goodness because hey, somebody's gonna need it. Robert, in 2020, make sure.
Nigga, it's 2022, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You
Oh,
keep
damn.
saying 2020, like I'm waiting for the extra numbers. Like,
I'm sorry. See, I'm trying to live in the past.
Yeah.
In 2022, I type a text to our girl. Used to see some CC. I butchered one of the greatest Andre 3000 lines. Anyway, I was trying to wrap.
Basically, he's saying he gonna get married.
Fuck at it.
He chooses you in 2022.
No,
and you know who that is.
No, I don't. Only reason I was bringing that up is because I'm bringing back what Pimp C said. I'm gonna start calling. I think I'm gonna try to put the N word to the rest. I'm gonna start calling people ferrets.
Huh?
I'm gonna call people. Well, and that song, Pimp C's like, you a ferret. I'm gonna start calling people ferrets now.
He says fairy, by the way.
He says ferret.
We'll have to look up the lyrics after this.
He says ferret. Would we like to bet?
I'm not a better.
Fair enough. You know what? I now know the name of this episode. It'll be ferrets versus fairies. Random, but I'm gonna try to make this work. Anywho, we out.
Peace.
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. But shit, I think they call them groupies now.